Please introduce yourself and tell us about what you do.
My name is Martina Zeleňáková, and I am professor at Technical University of Košice in Slovakia at Faculty of Civil Engineering at the Department of Environmental Engineering. I am professor in water management and associated professor in environmental engineering, and I am devoted in my work, also in the professional expert work, to water construction. I am professional engineer, and I am also doing and devoting to environmental impact assessment, especially for flood protection measures, but also for some other activities which is connected to the protection of the environment.
What was the problem you wanted to solve in a hydrological and water management practices?
I am working in the field of water management about 20 years, and what I am devoted to from the beginning, it was environmental risk assessment and management. It was devoted to the pollution of the water bodies, but then I changed a little bit and I focus mainly on hydrological risk, on flood risk assessment and management, and my work is connected with this specialization. Also with drought assessment, which is connected to the lack of water in some areas. And with this field is connected also rainwater management and water retention measures.
What were the drivers for the project, Water Framework Directive, and another legal requirement?
Also water framework directive, but as I mentioned, with the flood risk assessment is connected flood directive from 2007. It is directive of European Union, which propose is to contribute to mitigate the flood risk and also drought risk and to manage flood situation and to assess them, flood damages, and to propose the flood protection measures.
What is important about this project, its goals? What is special or unique about it?
Is protection of the environment, protection of the people, of their property, in connection with the flood situation mainly, and in the connection with the water requirements of the society.
What impact did you anticipate on freshwater restoration and facilitating future projects?
It's mainly a nature-based solution, because even I am an engineer and working with the technical structure, I am contributing and I like to intense also the nature-based solution using the nature materials and nature approach, which is closely to the nature, which is fitting to the whole environment of the landscape.
What measures did you take to achieve the goals of the project?
As I mentioned, it is mainly nature-based solution. So it is the propose and measures like water retention measures, which are closely to the nature and to the environment. So something such a nature-based solution, like for example, rainwater gardens, wetlands design, and water restoration, river restoration by the natural processes. And for example, green solution like green facade, green roofs, and parking and swales or any green areas.
Was the project focused on the biodiversity as well?
Of course, because if you are bringing the nature solution, especially to the landscape, but also especially to the cities, you are increasing the biodiversity. Because with the nature, they are increasing in the plants and species diversity and diversification. So, of course, the biodiversity is very close connected to that.
Where did the funding came from? And did the funders impose any specific constraints?
Of course, the funding is mainly from the European sources, and it is closely connected with the successful projects. So it is connected with the great management of the project preparation. Then it is essential to achieve and to win the project. And within the solution, it is the financing from these European or also national sources.
What were the main challenges in implementing this project?
Challenges, as I mentioned, it is the protection of the environment, increasing its values myself by increasing the values for the society, increasing the values for the nature, for the biodiversity, and for the better and more valuable environment at all.
Did you succeed in addressing them? What worked well, what not so well?
Yes, we mainly trying to implement the solutions which are worked well, of course, but it is necessary. Some of them we see the results, but for many of them there is necessary the time being and to wait how they work in the future. So we are still observing and monitoring what we addressed in. So, but till now we have mainly the positive results.
What would you do differently next time and why?
I do not think so, because we think that the solutions that we are applying are really successful and helpful. So we do not plan to change anything, only to spread our activities.
Were there things that you wanted to do but could not?
Many times I would like to test the solution in advance in laboratory for models, but it requires much more expenses and spaces. So many times the solution are applied without testing them in advance. So what I miss is only this previous pre-final testing before realization.
Are there aspects of this project that are specific to the location, region, or country? What would be transferable?
This solution and at all in water management, any solution is connected to the climate condition and to the geographical condition. So some of them are transferable, but as the countries has a different climate and geographic condition, so also solutions should be different. What works in the, for example, the countries in Middle Europe cannot be applied in the Africa or in the dry countries or even in the Nordic countries, because the condition, climate and geographical are completely different. So some of the solutions are transferable and should be applied, some should be modified, and some should be completely changed for the different location.
At what stage of implementation is this project today? How has it changed with climate change and over time?
We sure can consider the climate change impacts at our projects, because there is the impacts of CO2 emissions, impacts on increasing temperature, extreme events like extreme torrential rains. So we consider this one and we apply and we arrange a solution accordingly with the climate change impacts.
How could your experience on this project help others implement successful restoration works?
It is best available technologies that can be applied, and many locations can take the example from our realized solution and can apply in their projects.
What do you see as the main challenges for freshwater restoration projects now?
It's what I already mentioned. It is nature-based solution, because many technical parameters destroy the environment for the animals, for the plants, especially for the aquatic environment. But if you are trying to prepare and apply nature-based solution, it is sure very suitable for this aquatic environment.
In your experience, what would you recommend it to someone wanting to implement a restoration project to do as a priority?
Priority is planning, and priority is study the condition of the specific location, because the location and condition in the location are very important. A very good solution is to discuss with the people who know the location, the local people, because they know the best the condition that are occurring in the area. Yeah. So have the very good inputs in the beginning. So it is the essential of the success of the solution.
What would you recommend that they try to avoid?
Try to avoid any mistake, and try to avoid any bad decision and any afraid or scaring from the next step. You cannot be scared, you cannot insist on what you want to do and try to implement.
Do you have any suggestion for your government or the European Commission as to measures that might help enable more and more successful restoration projects?
Maybe to make government should implement strategies and policies which are suitable and which are very pleasant for the environment. So I think that the policies and mainly territorial planning for the location should consider the climate change impact and should consider the green areas which are inevitable in our living places. So the policy can ensure that the green areas and this water restoration and this freshwater mitigation are implemented. So if there is the policies and regulations for that, which government can apply, so the projects are more successful.
In a summary, what are your key messages for those facing the restoration challenge?
To be patient and to implement as much as you can. And don't be disappointed with any unsuccess, but believe in success of your measures which you implement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my pleasure.